Hi, my name is Thane, and this is going to be an overview of my lesson plan. I decided to do a junior, and senior class, um, metals class, and so this will be my lesson plan for one of that class, MIG welding fundamentals. So on the left-hand side here, we have our course, our high school senior welding. Our duration for that class is going to be 2 to 3 hours every day. That the objective of this will be the students that will safely set up a MIG welder and produce consistent stringer beads on mild steel. So we'll be having them run passes um, on various different types of mild steels and also in different configurations. Biggest of our learning outcomes is going to be explaining the basics of gas metal arc welding. What is it? What does it mean? This will also help us identify the MIG welding components that relate to those four parts of the acronym, making sure that we follow our safety procedures, setting up our machine parameters, and make sure that they can in fact produce a consistent stringer bead. Some of the information for the class, so this is going to be the equipment and materials that we're going to be using. We'll be using MIG welders. We'll be having welding helmets, gloves, and jackets. We'll be using our mild steel plates. We'll be using our ER70S-6 wire. We'll be using 7525 argon CO2 gas. And we'll also be using clamps, tails, brushes, and a grinder. For our safety portion of this lesson plan, we want to advise students to always wear PPE at all times, ensure that there's proper ventilation, inspect all of our equipment, keep our area clear of anything flammable, and then also make sure that we're handling our hot metals safely. So now we're going to kind of progress into our week and what is that going to look like. So for our lecture topic for Monday, we're going to ask, what is MIG welding? MIG welding is using continuous wire electrode shielding gas. And then what are the kind of key components of a MIG welder? So our power source, our wire feeder, our gun, our ground, and then our gas cylinder. Those are all components that will be explained out, and we'll ask students to identify them before the end of the day. We also need to know about our settings. These are things that are important to welding, so making sure that your voltage is set correctly so that you don't overheat or underheat your welding wire and your metal. Our wire speed, so how much wire are we actually feeding out whenever we're starting to draw our beads, and make sure that our gas is at the right pressure. Some of the techniques will be our 10 to 15 degree travel angle, 90-degree work angle, and our 3/8 stick out push method. That'll be all in Monday under a lecture topic. For Tuesday, this will be teacher demonstration. So I'm Mr. Kaiser. We'll go ahead and do all of the machine setup, start an arc, show them how to run a stringer bead, and then show the difference between a good weld and a bad weld, as well as some of the common mistakes that are associated with that. After a full day of learning, that'll be Wednesday and Thursday, will be our hands-on activity day. So this will be the days that they are able to actually go out, get their hands on the welding equipment, and start running through all of these steps. So Wednesday will more or less be walking everybody through all the different steps of our setup, and then also, if we get to it by the end of the day, actually striking arcs and trying our best to actually do a bead. We'll probably focus initially on just tack welding and make sure that students can get used to just the flash of the weld there. There's going to be a focused practice on ascending welds, descending welds, overhead welds, and welding two plates together at an angle to create a bead that will join those plates together. By Friday, the students should be able to demonstrate at least a basic level of competency with the MIG welder, and then we'll also observe, are they wearing all their PPE and safety equipment? Can they set up their welder properly? Do we appear to have a good quality weld with consistency, appearance, penetration, spatter techniques, so on and so forth? And at the end of the week on Friday, we'll also do a quick 15-minute end of week discussion topic where we talk about our challenges, how do we feel like we did, can we improve, and then the next week we'll be doing fillet welds, positions, and defects. And then we will take any questions at that point in time. And so that'll be my lesson plan. I am Thane Kaiser, and this has been our lesson plan for TECS 301 BA.